bob. Yes. Nice. Fizz. Oh my god, this is so intense. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucen. I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer, person. Check out my music. And today I'm going to be reacting to Charli XCX's BRAT, but it's the same, but with 3 extra songs, so it's not the same. Also, the Lorde remix of Girls So Confusing. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, so today, looking into the bonus bits and bobs in the whole BRAT situation. Quite excited to hear these. Like, I've heard that, like, apparently they're really good. And I loved BRAT. Absolutely brilliant album. So cool. So many levels. Yeah, it's so deep. There's so many levels to it. Really love it. If you haven't checked out the main BRAT reaction, go back and watch that one first. I'll leave a link for you because this is just going to be the bonus tracks. I was also laughing so much at all your comments about she's behind you, basically, is what people were saying when I was trying to figure out what that song was about. Also, I'm not going to be saying fierce at all today. So I was literally editing it and I was like, oh my God, I just keep saying it. I keep saying it. It's like, I don't know, like Charli just makes me extra gay. What can I say? Before we get on to the video, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Or if you watched the last video and you didn't subscribe, then make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure to give this video a like if you like it because it really helps in the algorithm. I'm asking you to like it now. Thank you. If you want to check out my podcast, it's called Criminally Underrated. There's a link to that. If you want to check out this video with no cuts in any of the songs or anything, then you can go to Patreon. I'll leave a link for you. And if you want to check out my music, I just put out a new song. It's called Do It Again, and it's scary. It's inspired by like horror movies and stuff. So that's fun. So if you want to listen to that, the link's in the description for that too. Just click on the description and there's all sorts of lovely things for you to involve yourself in. And also, I keep on forgetting, make sure to follow me on Instagram. I've collated all of my Instagrams. I used to have like 4, which is very confusing. But now it's just the one. It's Lucent Music. And if you go into my description, the links for that as well. All the stuff I've been talking about, if you want to follow everything that's going on, you can do that there. Girl. Okay, so BRAT, and it's the same, but there's 3 more songs, so it's not. The first song is Hello, Goodbye, which I quite like the idea of welcoming and saying goodbye to people on the first song of a deluxe. There's multi-layers to that. Let's go. Ooh, fun. Love those chords, and that pad is so fun.
Out my mind, a nervous goodbye and not hello. Don't
I love this. I love that. It's kind of epic.
I said goodbye before.
Fun.
I should have said hello, 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 hello before you came to run away.
I'm obsessed with this build up. It's so satisfying. I love the brightness in it. Oh, there's a lot of beauty in this. You don't usually say about a Charli song, you know.
Think about you. Began to rise, said goodbye before you.
I'm obsessed. I love this. So it's like more of that anxiety of like talking to somebody that you fancy, you know. I love that little synth in there. Goodbye.
I really don't know what I too scared I should have said.
Okay, we're gonna get the full payoff, are we? Yeah. This one feels like more of like a house track, doesn't it? Like the way that it's built up slowly. Nice. That little synth is giving me like Owl City vibes. So that's a deep cut, but when I was like 16, I was obsessed. I love it. There's a real kind of epic grandness, a beauty in it that I love that she's let into. Brilliant. Love it. Love it. Like, so gorgeous. Like, genuinely gorgeous. Like, just the central sound of that, the main synth, the kind of does harken back to the noughties kind of era kind of dance music, which is clearly her biggest inspiration. It leans into more the beautiful side of that music rather than the kind of experimental noise-based stuff that she tends to kind of do. So it's quite nice to kind of add this song in and add a little bit of extra kind of light and shade to the album. There are beautiful songs on the album like So I and like So Romantic and stuff like that. But this one, I don't know, like the context was this proper dance vibe, but the actual like details of it were this more ambient, luscious, synth-based, beautiful, kind of gorgeous sound, you know. The house reference is to do with the build up, right? Because if you like, classic house songs are usually very long, and it's all about that tension. It's all about building up that tension super slowly and not giving you your full release until the end. And that structure was completely there in that song. Like, it felt like it was really like building, and then getting to a place where you thought it was going to go off, and then it wasn't quite going off. Not right until that last section, where it was really satisfying. Smooth as well, you know. Love it. I said goodbye. I don't know what's going on most of the time. I'm out of my mind. A nervous wreck, I said goodbye and not hello, don't even know. Felt a little fear and some anxiety the second you arrived and kind of smiled at me. My heart began to rise, I panicked quietly, so silently I said goodbye before you came. I turned around and ran away. I was too scared, I should have said hello. So it's like the anxiety of meeting somebody who you like have feelings for potentially, or even not. It's really just like, could be anything, couldn't it? It's like, I said goodbye before I even had a chance to say hello to you, before I even had a chance to get to know you, because I was too scared of like how I would be judged. Maybe I was too scared of fucking things up. And so the easier option is to run away. Now I'm all up in my head, replaying my worst regrets. I shot myself. I'm born to lose. Now all I do is think about you. So it's feeling those really good feelings and being scared of it. Maybe there's like a sense of like, I've been telling myself that I'm born to lose. I've been telling myself that like, maybe I don't deserve to have this love, you know, because of this kind of always thinking about all the things you've done wrong, you know. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say goodbye before you even say hello to this person because you are sure that they're not going to like you, then it is that self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's like a kind of depressive spiral that you can get yourself into. Spiral, just saying. Yeah, love that. Really nice. Really my kind of sound as well. I love a bit of ambient electronica. Yeah. Cool. Okay, next song. This is Guess. Okay.
Guess the color of my underwear. You is it showing off my brand new lower back tattoo? Put 'em in your mouth, pull 'em all down south. You wanna turn this shit out?
Amazing.
Bite it, lick it, spit it, pull it to the side and get all up in it. Where I think he's with it.
Oh my god. Is she still talking about pants?
You wanna guess the color of my underwear?
Amazing. You know, we're saying about ambient gorgeousness. This is the opposite side. This is the sound, isn't it?
Your mouth, pull 'em all down south. You wanna try it, bite it, lick it, spit it.
This little rap is giving me Daft Punk, you know.
Guess.
Oh my god. This. Oh my god, this is so intense. I feel like this is the most like extreme song we've had. It's like teasing, isn't it? Like, guess the password to my Google Drive. Fizz. I said fizz again, I'm so sorry. Oh, but it is. Oh my god, that was like so like proper Charli, like in her comedic, I think, kind of vibe, like really teasing, really being like, you can guess the colour of my underwear, whatever. It's like, I don't know whether it's like kind of as a famous person, she's kind of like sticking a middle finger up to them, like, fuck you, like you can only guess. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. When it comes to sound design and composition and stuff, there's like a scale, right? For me, between musical, melodic, rich, full harmony sounds. So you think like piano, stringed instruments, horns, like more orchestral instruments and stuff. And then there's like on the other side of it, you have noise-based stuff, which is like glitchy sound effects, like white noise-based things, really dry drums and stuff. And then most songs kind of end up somewhere in between. And with Charli, like I feel like BRAT ends up somewhere in between most of the time, right? Using elements from like, you know, the really, really like far right of that scale, like the rich, like traditional stringed instruments, like in the romantic song, but then also like really glitchy sound effects to kind of create something mad in between. That's kind of what she's done. But so far with this, it's almost like she's gone really far one way with the first song and then completely noise-based with the second song. And so yeah, it kind of adds to the breadth of the album, you know, the sound of it. And it's a testament to her artistry and her like kind of that kind of je ne sais quoi Charli attitude that's kind of something you can't really put your finger on, but it's so her. It's a personality thing, I think, that she brings to everything, that she can pull all these disparate kind of things together, you know? Very cool. I loved how that song went off. It's not necessarily my style because I do prefer the more melodic, harmonic stuff, but I really appreciate the intensity in it and the humor in it as well. You want to guess the color of my underwear? You know, want to know what I got going on down there? Is it pretty and pink or all see-through? I can imagine it's probably sick green color, let's be honest. That's the color of the season. Is it all see-through? Is it showing off my brand new lower back tattoo? So good. Well, you want to put them in your mouth, pull them all down south. You want to turn this shit out. That's what I'm talking about. Put them in your mouth, pull them all down south. It's like her feeding the fantasies of somebody, you know? Try it, bite it, lick it, spit it. See, that's the bit that reminds me of fix it, change it, whatever. I can't remember that, but you know which one I mean. Yeah, guess how much money I just took from this deal. Want to guess the password to my Google Drive? You want to guess the address of the party I'm at? You want to guess if I'm serious about this song? Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so like her just being dumb. And those last like few ones are just like random shit. I really love how dumb it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is the element of it that really stands out for me. It's first. Sorry. Okay. Let's go on to the last one of the songs, but then I'm going to do the Lorde remix as well. This is Spring Breakers.
Hi, it's me, you're all in danger.
Oh my God, this is almost like really early Charli.
Every time I make it so outrageous, always
Weird.
Crazy girl shit, gonna go spring breaker.
She's got such a sense of sarcasm in her voice, like, cool. Okay.
Vroom, 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 vroom in a big pink truck.
Reference. Referencing herself again, huh?
Cause I poured a load of gasoline on the carpet. The place went boom, 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 clap.
Yes, she is referencing her earlier stuff. I thought she was.
There's no one I wanna thank out there. Yeah. Hi, it's me, you're all in danger.
And maybe it feels like maybe that this is like the view of how the public at large view her, like a cynical kind of adaptation of that, you know?
Gonna go spring breaker. Maybe thank God.
Whoa.
Yeah, I swear I'd be so nice. Beach on time, maybe something just like hi, it's me.
It's almost like this is what you expect of me, but maybe if you gave me a chance, I'd be able to disprove that, you know? But it's so glitchy. Fairs. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I can't stop saying it. I love the kind of like obviously like she's mentioned multiple times throughout the album, referencing herself. She has referenced herself, you know. In 360, she's like, I'm your number one reference. And we were talking a lot about the kind of psychical nature of referencing yourself and getting stuck in a loop and all this kind of stuff. And this song is like taking that to another level because she's using that reference to almost like tell the story of like what people think of her. Like she's really playing into that idea again, but in like a really cool way. Like she's referenced the two songs that she's most famous for, right? Boom Clap, in terms of the general public, not us, people who know better. You know, Boom Clap and Vroom Vroom. And it's like this, and yes, she's creating this kind of bratty persona. It's the bratty persona, isn't it? Yeah. And this is what you think of me. Like, I'm going to turn up late. I'm going to like be the worst dressed on the red carpet. I'm going to like fuck around. I'm that party, like messy girl. But I love just like through every element of how it's designed, every element of the way she's singing it. It sounds cynical, doesn't it? Like all of the noise-based stuff. It's like, It's that feeling of like literally like sticking your tongue out and like being like, fuck you all. If you think that I'm going to be that person, then I'm going to live up to that fucking expectation, you little shit bags. It's really giving me that vibe. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's in the way that she enunciates every word and in the way that like the sound design is put together and stuff, you know, it's like it all plays into that story. Hi, it's me, you're all in danger. Never get invited because I'm such a hater. Even the way she's singing it's like, it's like she's pretending to be a cheerleader. Like, yeah, it's just giving attitude, you know. Got my finger on the detonator, crazy girl shit, gonna go spring breakers, which is like presumably talk about just going wild, because that's what Americans do when they go on spring break, I guess. Every time I make it so outrageous, always gonna lose to people playing safer. 4, 3, 2, 1, see you later. Sorry. Crazy girl shit, gonna go spring breakers. Vroom, 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 vroom in a big pink truck. February 10th, I'm going to pull up. Hey, Staples Center, what the fuck is up? Yeah, I'm parked outside watching all the girls strut. I'm guessing that's like a big venue or something. Got the custom on, hit the worst dress list. You better not. I'm gonna guess the Staples Center is like a venue for like some awards show. You better not slide, not slip, not trip, because I poured a load of gasoline on the carpet, lit a cigarette, took a drag, then I just flicked it. Place went boom, 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 clap. Just so good. And I just laughed when the bodies went splat. Yeah, I knew I'd end up with my hands behind my back in a police car, blue and red sirens, all flash, 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 flash lights, and cameras everywhere. Now I'm on the news with a DUI stare. Who cares? Just put me on the platform, turn the microphone on. It's like the idea of like people's view of celebrity, you know. People are kind of expecting or wanting her to just go completely off the edge, you know, and have a mental breakdown in the style of those early mid-noughties people who did have breakdowns like Britney and stuff, you know. It's really giving that kind of storyline. And like I was like alluding to in BRAT, like the idea that she's created this character who represents those like early noughties, messy celebrity party girls. This really plays into that as well, doesn't it? You know, on the flip side, I could talk real nice. Maybe if you give me that prize, you might see a tear from my eye. It might change my whole damn life. And maybe I thank God on the stage. Yeah, I swear I'd be so nice. I'd never misbehave. I do my speech on time. Maybe just something like, hi, it's me. You're all in danger. So it's like she could play the game. She could pretend to be something that she's not. She could be like all like kiss ass just to kind of get into the kind of circles and try and like play the game. But fuck that. You know, fuck it. Like, and it really does link to her like playing with this idea of like, do I just exist in this kind of, you know, cult kind of artist sense, or do I try and go for the middle, like she's said before? And the specific reference between, you know, Vroom Vroom, which is very much her going towards the noise-based hyperpop style music, and Boom Clap, her trying to go center and get a hit. Those two songs are emblematic of that struggle within her as an artist, you know. And this is really talking about an awards show where she could go one of two ways, and it seems as if she's chosen the messy way, because fuck them. If they're going to believe that she's a messy, annoying little bitch, then she's like, well, I'm just going to flick a thing on the red carpet and blow you all up. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck it. I'm just going to play up to that, because why the fuck not? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just the attitude in it is so clever, and just the levels and stuff, the levels to all of her lyricism and storytelling within like this style of music is just so unique to me. It's just so amazing that there's like somebody with so much artistry and so much depth creating music that is not like playing by the rules, you know? I've loved a lot of albums this year. There's been so many new albums this year that I've really loved. A lot of them like fairly safe, I guess. Like I consider Taylor's new album safe. I consider Ariana's new album safe. Dua Lipa as well. But like Charli's out here being like, fuck being safe. I'm going to put something out there that's like weird and multi-layered and artistic, and an artistic representation of what I want to put out in the world. And it's high level. It's very intelligent, but ultimately consumable. There's so much detail if you want to find it, but you can just enjoy the music on a surface level as well. And that's the real clever thing that she's done. And these three songs really add to that and broaden that kind of idea. I can understand maybe why these ones weren't included, because maybe like the main album does feel more concise without them, but adding them on separately kind of means that like, although you have your concise thing, you've still got these other things that kind of challenge and broaden the idea of what like she's trying to go for within this like artistic scope, you know. Very good. Before we go into the final song, this is a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you everybody over on Patreon for supporting me. You make it possible for me to do what I do and only have a part-time job. Maybe one day I won't have to have a part-time job. If you want to help me in that dream, then not only like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the podcast, check out my music, but if you go over to Patreon, there's a very direct way in which you can support me and also get a whole bunch of bonuses, including getting to watch my videos unedited, so no cuts in any of the songs or anything, and like my full kind of rambling analysis. In the upper tiers, you can request reactions from me. There's like there's a little group of people who do like monthly song reactions, which is really cute. And then there's album reactions and artist discovery reactions that you can request from me as well. And those videos go out to everybody on Patreon. So there's like bonus content as well. And you can get access to my extended and video versions of my podcast as well. If you want to head over there, the link is in the description and probably the top comment and stuff. Cool. Thank you. Let's check out Girl, So Confusing, but the Lorde remix. I love Lorde. I am a big fan of Lorde. As you can see, Melodrama is one of my favorite albums ever, and it sits on my back wall for that reason a lot of the time. I love how literal she is in this era. It's like the Girl So Confusing version with Lorde. I'm excited for this because this is so clever. I love the fact that they've done this at all, you know? Okay, let's go. Girl. Girl.
And I don't know, I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. I think there was a little bit of Lorde's voice mixed into that first section.
Have much in common. People say we're
I just love the concept of this and like the way that she's now brought the girl that she's talking about in this song on for the remix. It's just really, really clever, and I love how kind of meta it is, you know? The fact that she put it out there, people were guessing who it is, people figured out who it is, and then she released a remix, you know? It's just clever.
well, honestly,
Hello.
I've been feeling, let's work it out on the remix.
Let's work out on the remix, yes. It's cool that like Lorde's like allowed her voice to be manipulated in a Charli way.
I was trapped in hatred, and your life seemed so awesome on your head, girl. You walk like
Yes.
it's just self-defense until you're building a weapon.
Yeah.
There's still a young girl from Essex.
Oh, inside the icon, there's still a young girl from Essex. Amazing.
The internet will go crazy. I don't
Yes.
know how you ride for you, child.
Yes. Oh, I love it. You internet people, you media people want to be putting girls against one another, and we're like, fuck you. No, I love it. It's so good.
You know I ride for you too.
Cool. It's cute. Fierce. I love that. I know I said fierce again. I'm so sorry, but I can't stop. That was so good. I actually love that so much. Obviously, the media narrative, the way that the media and the way that like the world, patriarchy, let's be honest, wants to pit women against one another is a tale as old as time. Especially within celebrity circles, pop feuds. You think of like fucking Katy Perry and Taylor Swift. You think of fucking Britney and Christina Aguilera. Like, it's a tale as old as time. They're like, yeah, you want to do one between me and Lorde? Okay, you fucking try, bitch. Because actually what we're going to do is turn it around and create a remix together, which is us saying, actually, no, that's not going to work on us. We're going to take control of this narrative and make it work for us by coming together and saying, fuck you. And it's like so genius and like so meta and so like well done. It's just so good. And I love Lorde's verse. I love what she adds to it. I love how she kind of adds the other perspective, and she kind of almost says like, yeah, maybe I did judge you that way. Maybe like I was threatened by you and might have acted frostily towards you, but upon reflection I understand that within that diva pop iconic persona is just a young girl from Essex, and that links back to Girl, So Confusing. You know, we are just two girls at the end of the day. You know, it's just perfect. It's really, really nicely done. Well, honestly, I was speechless when I woke up to your voice note. You told me how you've been feeling. Let's work it out on the remix. You'd always say, let's go out, but then I cancel last minute. I was so lost in my head and scared to be in your pictures. Yeah, so it's like there's obviously some kind of disconnect going on between them. And Lorde's explaining like the reason why I've been a bit frosty and a bit flaky is because I was too in my head about it. I was like worried about like how people would view us being friends, you know? And then she's saying, the last couple of years I've been at war in my body, tried to starve myself thinner, and then I gained all the weight back. I was trapped in the hatred, and your life seemed so awesome. I never thought for a second my voice was in your head. Like, it's this thing that like when you get trapped within this kind of like self-reflective kind of depressive place, obviously she's been dealing with like potentially an eating disorder. It's so easy to forget that perspective, to forget that actually everybody is within their own heads and with their own perception of what's going on. And sometimes you need to be able to take a step out of it and try and gain a bit of perspective, because actually, like, if you're just trapped within your head, believing all your own narratives the whole time, then you're just going to spiral into this place where, like, you know, Lorde was feeling like Charli was this person that was kind of an icon of everything she wanted to be and everything she wasn't feeling. And it ended up resulting in Charli thinking that Lorde didn't like her, and Lorde not actually going out and doing all those parties and doing all the fun things and getting involved, you know? Yeah, and it seems as if like Charli reaching out and saying, this is the song I've written about you. This is how I feel about like the way our relationship has gone. Shall we work through this like friendship problem by doing a song about it? By that candidness, you know, Lorde is like, oh shit, she's been feeling the same way about me. She's been feeling that she thinks that that she wants to be like me, that she wants to, you know, she thinks that Lorde is above it all, that, you know, all this kind of stuff, when actually like that's, both of them are wrong, you know, because they're both trapped within their own heads and believing their own stories, you know, believing their inner saboteur, as RuPaul would say, you know. It's like, yeah, so good. My voice was in your head, girl, you walk like a bitch. When I was 10, someone said that. And it's just self-defense. So she's like, obviously said something to Charli, and Charli's been like ruminating on it, and it's really stuck with her. It's just self-defense until you're building a weapon. She believed my projection, and now I totally get it. Forgot that inside the icon, there's still a young girl from Essex. Yeah. So like she was building up these walls, this self-defense, projecting a harsher, tougher image of herself to the world. And Charli believed it, you know? And she's like, oh, of course. And let's get vulnerable. That's what they're saying to each other. In order to fix this kind of relationship, let's try and get vulnerable. And I love that they've decided to fix that relationship, because at the end of the day, they're two women within the industry and they should be supporting each other, not fighting one another. And so they said, let's work it out and let's do it through song, you know, for the sake of like feminism, for the sake of other women within this industry, to kind of say, we will not stand for narratives pitting women against women, and we will not stand for our own projection, self-defense projections, and kind of believing our own negative feedback loop within our own heads. We're not going to allow that to actually destroy what could be a friendship, you know? Yeah, perfection. Adore it. And that just works so well on like in terms of like the context of what the album's about, the context of what the song's about. Lorde's verse gets so vulnerable, like far more vulnerable than anything she's done in a long time. If we think about like Solar Power, it was all that front. Solar Power was all that front, and maybe Lorde's been really going through it and starting to kind of understand that like maybe she needs to dig a bit deeper. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's given me so much kind of context on that, and it really given me so much. I just think it's brilliant. There's so many levels. I just love that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, that song is about women, you know. Girl is so confusing sometimes, being a girl in this industry. Oh, so good. I love it. So I could go on about this all day. Like, it's just so clever. And what a way to do a remix. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she could have just like sang the same verse or whatever, and it would have, you know, worked. But instead she was like, let me truly dig in deep, be vulnerable, and show you the other side of this story, you know? And so now this song becomes a song of two girls believing their own narratives and working through it and trying to figure it out and come out the other side, you know, which elevates the song to a next level, you know. Oh, so good. Thank you so much for joining me for this bonus video. If you want to check out my Pop 2 reaction, it's here. And if you want to check out my reaction to Pure Heroine by Lorde, then you can do here.